Because you'd have to do the other voice. Yeah, because you'd have to do the enemy voice lines where it's in attack.
Figure it out.
Okay. All right.
Well, they have a German. They have a German doing the voice lines for the Swiss one. So do you really need to speak the language?
Okay. In fairness, that's a nitpick.
You can just do an American Italy.
It's a very Swiss nitpick, and I get it. But at least they spoke German.
It's offensive.
At least they spoke German. You know what I mean?
In like a teeny tiny portion. No, this is.
That's crazy. This game's been out for like 10 years. We're still seething about this. It's crazy.
Yeah, it keeps me up at night, honestly.
Look, just say German slightly cuter, and you're talking.
It's what Zoe's like, really good at. Just being mad at things that don't really exist.
It's one of my one of my special superpowers. It's that is me. It's that and talking about video games. Hence, I get paid for that, and I can be mad at video games whilst being paid talking about.
Sure, I mean that's how our Overwatch content creators make their money. So it does work.
So true, so true. So I'm interested to hear what they have to say about our first match of the day. So let's dig into this.
Yeah, Flats, what do you think about Vision versus Quick, brother? Any thoughts?
Yeah. Break it down, friends. I mean, okay, we're starting with who we got here.
This would be Vision.
This is Vision.
Yeah, they will be Vision. Yep, that's Vision. Okay, listen, they got kind of rolled in their most recent match. It was against Twisted Minds, though. They did put up a good fight on Junkertown. Like that was actually a pretty good offense at the very least. So there are still bright spots.
I think like
they're very feast or famine.
Tama opened with a Ramatra on Lijiang Tower, and I think ended up playing like a ball. So there's obviously a ton of options for this team. I think that generally Violet is doing the most. Violet and Choice 1 doing the most on this team. Violet ends, I think, 2 out of 3 of the maps with top damage on his team when he's playing support, right? He is in fairness playing like Liari, mixing in a couple of those sort of flex support picks, but Guy's doing so much. It is I don't want to call it a close 3-0 because I don't really think that in extra innings in those sort of payload-based maps they look very good. This team are 2-2. They're obviously better than that. I think they've got a couple of weaker teams to get through that'll definitely pad those stats and put them in a decent position to have a run in playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, they already got Alcatia as well as Twisted Minds out of the way, right? So obviously that's where the 2 losses are coming from.
Yeah, and I mean, I really like Tama on this team. I think he's played really well in the tank role. Like really across the board, it's a pretty nice roster. It's just obviously losing to some of those top teams, but that's just pretty much what everybody will do in the EMEA. But this is a team that it feels like on the day, if they get hot, they could be scary for just about anybody.
Yeah, it's like a 5%. I think they need to really start knocking on the door at that top 3 at the moment. But in general, I think there's plenty to be excited about. Oh, was that a Violet? That was Violet. Sure.
No? Okay. Okay, listen. This Quick Esports had a rough showing against good guys last week. I think Evilon Tracer was probably the one player that you really want to highlight, even during that loss, during that series. But this was just like a mismatch for them. Skytor just stayed on that Winston. He got deleted, like upon arrival.
Quick Esports is kind of like a UFC fighter who just goes in there and is like, you know what, I'm not going to block my head at all, and I'm just going to swing for the fences. That consistently gets knocked out, and it's like, you know what, from a fan experience, hey, we know they're not the best fighter, but I have a good time watching. There's gonna be some exciting.
It's the resilience of the repeated motion of doing that, right?
We get.
They're not considered the favorite heading into
a little bit of everything from this team. I'm a fan.
I mean, this team have won 1 map in OWCS.
Look,
and I don't see it getting much better anytime soon. I think they're quicker in trouble, especially when they've got.
Why are you so focused on the stats?
Because I don't want to oversell this game. This team have Vision, they have VP, and then they have to play TM. Right? All their easy games are done, and they've won 1 map. A singular map.
Quick Esports,
against
we're focused on the emotions we give the fans and the people at home. We're not really focused on the wins. We're focused on the vibes we can give through the screen.
I want to temper
that is something that stats cannot measure.
Some realism, please. Just a little bit. I think this is going to be a very, very difficult matchup for Quick Esports, and what they've shown so far in OWCS, I don't see them putting a scratch on this team, genuinely.
Yeah, and Vision Esports, it really is a very, very decent mid-table team that can really make the top teams sweat as well. Like, they've had a really, really good start. But you have to say it like that. Like, they're not gonna,
very decent mid-table.
But they are now. Like, they're not the team to break into the top 3. Not in that region. That's just like, that's not in the books for them. No, not
I mean, look,
No.
I can't see them breaking into the top 3.
That's literally what I just said. Thank you so much for making my point again.
In like the regular season standings, but like, could they win a game in a bracket to end up getting there? There's a world in which that could happen.
Not in this current form, not from what we saw against them, between them and Twisted Minds, but I do believe it's possible.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a 5 to 10%. I think they need to step up in order.
I think it's going to be between Peps and Vision to battle it out for 4th place, but VP, Twisted Minds, and Alcazia are just low-key untouchable. Vision already made their mark against Gen G Esports, right? They stomped them on day 1, which was an incredible opener for them in Stage 3.
Yeah, it's look, I think Vision, they can get past Peps. They obviously can get past Gen G. It's like the only ones you're really worried about is obviously those top 3.
Yeah.
And you see the chat. I mean, the chat's wising up. There's been some wild opinions from the chat, but they're wising up here. They're trying to make their money back here against Quick Esports by riding with Vision.
Is it crazy?
Yeah, value betting goes hard in esports.
Is it crazy to say that I kind of was hoping that Vision would do a little bit more against those top teams that they played, like win sort of a map sort of here or there? Like obviously they started with like Alcazia in week number 1. I think they also they beat Gen G straight off. That's what got us really hyped about them. But I was kind of hoping for just a little bit more from these guys, like a map 1 against Twisted Minds at least, where that was a decently competitive Junkertown, for example. Like that would probably make me feel a little better about these guys. But that's why I'm very much in Zoe's camp. Like they're not knocking on the door of their top 3 if they can't just get a map, like even a control map here against one of those top teams is what I want to see. So conversely, what I want to see here is complete and utter carnage. I want Vision to hit the ground running in this game and show absolutely zero mercy.
Yeah, I want to go grab water now, and by the time I'm coming back, this series needs to be almost over, and then I'm proud. That's what I want to see from Vision Esports. Let's see if that's what they got for us today. We're about to find out as match 1 is ready. So Matt, Mitch, please take it away.
Thank you. Yeah, I think as was sort of... I just don't want to oversell the game, I think. Quick Esports, our team, we didn't really spend a whole lot of time discussing them coming into this game, but at some point or another across the last few stages of OWCS, a lot of these individual players have been able to demonstrate a really good understanding of the game. But this Vision Esports team has literal legends of the past who are coming together again, trying to create this ironclad outfit to really vie for supremacy in OWCS. And so this kind of game is one they're looking past Quick. They want to obviously really just demolish them, I think, here and then move on towards the postseason.
Yeah, Vision Esports' goal is not to just kind of slide on into the postseason. I think they feel like, obviously, with Gen G being a little bit obviously lackluster compared to expectations, and then it's kind of open for that 4th slot, and then I talked about, at that point you just got to win basically 1 game, right? And you kind of find yourself getting into that top 3. So it'll be a Lijiang Tower. Map number 1, it'll be Vision getting rid of the Bastion, and then the Zarya gone here from Quick. So Bastion, we've seen Mitch being used quite frequently against Zarya comps, right? He just kind of it blows up the bubbles and doesn't really care for them whatsoever, and just takes her out quite easily. So that Bastion ban seems like they may want to play some Zarya, but then the Zarya now gone.
Yeah, and also this does enable D.Va-based compositions, right? We've seen that be a bit of an issue for D.Va, as sort of evidence, I think, in that VPTN game where KSA was forced to switch up there. Let's see how it plays out here. Of course, Lijiang Tower is where things start. Quick Esports are looking for their 2nd map win of this OWCS stage, and they have honestly struggled to find edges where they've sort of existed. They got the 1 map against Gen G, and I'll leave that entirely up to your interpretation. It was a Hollywood win, one of the very few Hollywood picks that we've seen over the course of OWCS here in EU. Vision Esports don't have the option to go towards the Bastion, but can still work with a bit of a rushdown style with the Reinhardt here. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Reaper make his way in. Lijiang Tower, a good map for him. Quick Esports, though, Skytor, definitely a Winston aficionado in the past. It's been one of his best looks here. It will be tough against, I think, a D.Va Reaper frontline, if that's what we're going to see.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. SkyTour has played a ton of the Winston. Obviously, the hero that he wants to play the most. So we'll see. Quick going to go over and play Freya with Tracer with the Winston-based composition. And then for Vision, look, you play that D.Va with the Reaper into the Winston. It looks like could be a potentially good look, but Sile gets knocked off the side right away here as Johnson gets 2 with the boot. I think actually he had knocked Tama off the side with the first one, and then obviously used the fly to get back up, and then just knocked him off again.
Well, this is a perfect start for Quick Esports, and it really comes down to something we've seen on Lijiang Tower for quite some time. Is just up by the bridge around the corner. We have the Lucio play there and look for those big boobs. So beautifully set up by Jonty. Obviously an edge here for Quick Esports, especially positionally. His Vision have to find their way back into the map. It's going to be Violet here on Iliari. A less than conventional pick for this map. But again, once you've got that point control, you can play safely behind that pylon. There's a lot of extra value to be obtained. Right now, Violet looking just to try and wrap around on Quick Esports, find some damage, but that outburst is going to allow him to create some space.
Yeah, it looks like
love that. Love us a pause.
Yeah, it looks like we lost. Evil there, so we'll get him back in the game. But look, Violet. Anytime you can play the Illari, he'll want to play it. And then with Sile playing the Wuyong, you can just pump out a ton of HPS. Even with the Illari, I know closer to the objective with the pylon. Just if Tom or whoever plays on it. So not a wild pick here for Violet, and then also. Very early in the round, I believe only 17% now for Quick Esports, so not a significant amount of progress.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously an unconventional backline choice, but it's been part of the game plan for Vision to put Violet in a position where he's able to really contribute when it comes to overall damage in some of these fights. Both Iliari and Wuyong don't actually find success if they're forced to just heal bot, right? They both have limited resources for that sort of main channel source of their healing. Iliari requires obviously being able to play around the pylon. Wuyong, I think needs a bit of some perks, honestly, sort of brought in to help with that HPS, especially if you can, the passive healing can be increased by hitting those primary fire shots, which is really helpful if you want to weave your poke in. So both of them need to do a little bit of, oh God, what is Jonty doing, bro? This is just absurd.
It is a lot of poke damage, though, when you think about what's being thrown Quick Esports' way. And then when also you're playing the Lucio, right? You just don't have a ton of healing available, right? To kind of heal through some of that poke. So although the boobs look good here from Jonte knocking players off the side, just puts a lot of pressure on Johan to be able to keep these players up, HPS wise.
Also, Snowdrop fell off the map as far as I can tell, so not sure, but losing a Freya to something unexpected like that is not going to send you in great stead in a fight like this.
In a very rough shape. Yeah, no way you're going to be able to live from there.
SkyTour, yeah, jumping in. I mean, you saw how quickly Vision just cottoned on to the idea of blowing the Winston to smithereens as Cookie was trying to TP forward, and before he even got there, the Winston was dead. And that should be emblematic, I think, of how Winston fares in this kind of frontline game between Tama, Choice 1, and Cookie, and this ridiculous amount of poke damage. SkyTour's playing the game on hard mode right now, man. Let's hit the Katunia Rush is going to make life a little bit easier for him, but his bubble is already broken. Fortunately, the haste buff means his next one comes up a little bit quicker. He can insert himself to this bridge, but a stick there is going to lay him low, and now he's in danger. Jonty finds a sound barrier, though, and has definitely been the standout player in the entire server so far this round. Much more work to be done, though. Captive Sun at the ready here for Violet. Looks like there was a Tidal Blast already deployed there for Sile. Tama still looking healthy, and Jonty the first to fall. An ill omen for Quick Esports.
Yes, Tama's going to use a self-destruct here just to get a mech back as the stick comes in from Evil there onto Violet, but I just don't think it's enough here for Quick Esports to be able to try and flip it. So everybody just trying to hightail it back to the spawn there for Quick, where Vision, they all hold on. You'll have a Captive Sun, no like defense matrix on the other side, to be able to block this, and then Cookie here on the Reaper, especially if we get in a close quarter scenario. This could get quite brutal here with the Captive Sun plus Reaper damage.
Volley shot at least for Snowdrop now, but it's a pretty dispersed side of Vision Esports. Looks like the volley shot was thrown out towards the bridge. Snowdrop unable to see what the aftermath of that actually was, as they get blown up. Tama and Choice 1 just pull up. Johan also taken down. SkyTour now using this Primal Rage in order to try and put more pressure down on Sile. Okay, thank God we've got more jumps. It was scary for a moment. Captive Sun, though, catches on towards the Winston. It's going to be difficult for SkyTour to get out of this situation. And this run doesn't start the way that we herald it, that we expect, but it kind of ends in that fashion. Vision Esports, Matt, once they've got map control, they're dominant, and Violet obviously is top damage. It's just another day at the office.
Yeah, and once, I mean, look, we see Quick Esports, they want to play a lot of this Winston. It's just Winston's not in an awesome place in terms of the meta right now. We take a look. at some of the stats. Damage, across the board there for Vision, outside of Cookie, just kind of like pretty evenly distributed.
Hello.
So we see Skytor, if he stays on the Winston, right, the same issues are going to be present here heading in the second round. It's going to be hard to stay alive in that front line. This might be a backline that's more tailored to trying to set Skytor up for success, as we've got two ultimates that aren't really team-wide support ults, but really just for individuals, either the nano boost or the tidal blast. So Skytor's being set up with a lot, but the rest of Quick Esports kind of have to do without a lot of this, and it's not a very mobile backline that Quick are trying to play with. This is scary, I think, to face down a Tracer.
And how, I was just gonna say, how is Skytor supposed to attack this? From the standpoint that, like, you're gonna have this Reaper over by the objective, you have the poke damage coming in from the Alari, the Diva as well. Like, how is the Winston supposed to last at all in that type of scenario, right? And Skytor now goes over to the ball, which obviously a little bit better at surviving, which, thankfully, like, the Winston was not working out. You needed to survive.
I think this is much more reasonable into this composition from Vision. Right? You can do a lot now against Vision's relatively immobile backline as well, but it's still a ton of damage you can vomit in the direction of Skytor. That was a nice Bionade set up there by Johan, but there's nobody really in position to capitalize. Skytor isn't ready to dive. It's just like a warning shot fired off with that biotic grenade. Violet at least has that turret cleared, and now see, look, his safe space is starting to be pressured back behind the point. This is what you want to see from Quick, being able to get towards that backline and force some errors, but Skytor eventually falls. The damage eventually just forces him to succumb.
I mean, you see when they're diving, Mitch, like, they're not really kind of coordinated really either, right? Like, Skytor's trying to go in, and then Evil's a little bit further behind on the follow-up. I know Johan actually sleeps Violet there. It's just some nice friendly fire into the body of Violet for jokes, but I know Quick Esports never able to actually kind of get on track with this dive, as Snowdrop now going to go over and play Sim. Pulse Bomb goes out, actually doesn't even connect on a Snowdrop, but the damage is good enough to kind of finish him off, and then also Chosen One gets Johan. So I mean, this is just falling apart here for Quick.
I think like you can play this kind of backline if you want. I mean, Vision are doing the exact same thing, but they are vulnerable to being dove on. And look how easy it is for Choice One. It's just one by one. Able to drag down these Quick Esports players. Johan gets picked off by Tama sort of belatedly, and as Skytor attempts to try and stall things out, but this round is going nowhere fast. Quick Esports don't seem to have an actual game plan.
I mean, their game plan is to kind of play dive, but like to play dive, you obviously need the coordination. I'm not sure the coordination is there. Is Skytor going to get the benefits of the nano boost here and going to try and come over from the side? Will end up getting a touch, but you imagine this is going to be short-lived.
Yeah, I mean, Sar's able to throw the tidal blast here, make anybody who's sort of under scrutiny from the wrecking ball pretty safe for the time being. And it's a shutout. It's an absolute dominant showing here for Vision Esports. And you've got to wonder if Jonty doesn't go hog wild and knock 3 people off the map at the start of Lijiang Tower. This could have been a double shutout performance. Vision Esports delivering on the promise at least that I made on their behalf, which was to make it quick and painful.
No, I mean, we would have, obviously, with some nice kills from Jonte at the beginning, we would have been, obviously done with this map a little bit ago. It was a really nice plays from him at the start, and that's really about it. I mean, everything else from Quick looks quite ugly. I mean, you think about some of those kills that Jonte got, right? Like a few, we got the boop off the map on Tama. That's his only death. Like, we're knocking Violet off the side. It's really been him alone there for Quick is, man, just a dominant performance there from Vision.
Yeah. I mentioned this, there doesn't really seem to be a game plan here. If there is one for Quick Esports, and you're right, I think they obviously were hoping to just play some good Wrecking Ball dive, but how does this turn about here? Jonty? Okay. Yeah, just able to do a drive-by there on Tama, who obviously didn't have boosters available. Really nice stuff. Great to have some highlights from Quick Esports, because frankly, the rest of the map was a low light for them. They got rolled. Snowdrop, I'm not sure what happened to them. Obviously, after the pause, they fell off the map, or they were knocked off the map, but no one was credited for that elimination, so it's really hard to say. And that was their sort of, I think, one advantage in that fight, where, again, like Jonty finds an environmental kill. After that, it's this amount of damage. You cannot simply just tank it down for an extended period of time. Not on the Winston, not even on the Wrecking Ball. Like, this comp isn't even designed to shut Wrecking Ball down. There's no Brig, there's no Cassidy. it doesn't matter. There's just not enough healing for the ball to stay alive, and you're trying to play relatively high throughput healers with Ana and Lijiang here. Again, Lijiang requires a little bit of help to do that big heals, does need to be hitting those shots, and I mean, like Jonty, I mean, at this point, like, the game's over. That's totally fine. But the one time we saw Quick there look decent on Night Market, man, is like a Nano Winston diving in, and then there was no team with them. So it felt like desperation off the rip.
But there's not even a like, now you kind of think for Quick Esports, right? Like, all right, like, what map do they go to? Like, what map can you play? Like, you know, this Winston they obviously want to go towards. Like, there's not really a map that's like awesome for like Winston. Like, what if they ban? I mean, maybe it's like Quick Esports banning like a diva or something along those lines, right? But so, like, kind of getting rid of the, you know, Tama's hero, and then also kind of protecting the, you know, Winston ban, right? That Vision could use. It just still doesn't feel like there's like a great way they can kind of swing an advantage through you know, the bans in terms of you know, obviously the map selection and then the bans of the heroes, where like, do they go Eichenwald? Do they go Hollywood? I mean, there's a lot of different options they could do.
It'd be crazy to see Hollywood mix back in, but if you're a team that is kind of hoping to play your trade with Winston, then you can go there and try and start something up. I think that your Zarya ban is now off the table, right? So Tama can quite happily circle back to that. One thing we've seen about them, and I was like a little critical, I think, of some of the picks from Tama in the game against Twisted Minds, but there are plenty of them. There's a lot of variation, at least in that hero pool. So, you know, at some point you've got to decide whether Tama is the kind of player that it's worthwhile to target. Right, you know, like, we've had like 12 Lijiang bans, I think, over the course of OWCS this stage up until now. You can try and, you know, target Sile, maybe put him on something that's a little less comfortable. Going after Violet's hard because you take away something like the Iyari, a wild ban. Just play the Kiriko. You know what I mean? There's, I don't think you can target that part of the team either. Do you try and have a Tracer this game? Do you try and take Reaper out the mix so that you'll, you know, Winston, if you're going to play them, can do more in the front line? I'm more interested in what the hero ban strategy would be here for Quick than map selection, because I think that you know, it's going to be pretty hard to pull the wool over Vision's eyes, I think, in terms of
I'm more interested in going to Stockholm, and you can go to Stockholm with DHL moments. You see, our boy Cargo, he's missed you, Mitch. He's been waving, nobody's been waving back. There you go, our boy Cargo. Predict the EMEA NA winner, chance to go to World Finals. You know, we'll be there. It'll be grand all time down there in Stockholm. But maybe, I was gonna say maybe one of the, well, I mean, if we're talking about this series, probably only one of these teams could potentially get there. But I know the other team, they could. If I'm Quick Esports, I'm submitting in the DHL and screw my teammates. I'm trying to win a free trip.
Just want to make sure you get there in one way or another. Yeah, it's going to be hard to book yourself a trip. I think the competitor way, if you're Quick Esports now, is you are 0-4 with one map won so far for this OWCS.
That would be a big turn of events. I don't even know how.
I think it's mad.
They can sneak in. It's almost impossible. So they'll pick King's Row. So this is a map where obviously you can play the, you know, Winston. This is also where if like Zarya makes it through, you can potentially do that. So the Alari gets banned. The Alari gets banned there by Quick. So taking out of Violet's hands, and then Vision, they end up banning the Reinhardt. Feels like there wasn't really anything there potentially that they were worried about.
Okay, so I floated this as an idea to try and target the Iyari. I think that's fine. King's Row is, I guess, the kind of map where, you know, Violet can play that, but there's obviously a ton of opportunities to play flex supports that have really powerful, you know, damage output that can really sort of be a part of the front line. Just for context, Violet ends the first map with 5,940 damage, about like 3.5k healing. Next closest damage on his team is Choice A1 at 5,339. So the guy is operating as a hybrid DPS.
Hey, I do love the fact that you were like, Violet could play the Alari here on King's Row. He just played on Lijiang Tower. Like, if you're gonna play it on Lijiang Tower, you're gonna play it on King's Row. Yeah, you're gonna play it anywhere. So not a huge surprise. That could be something that Vision would have went towards. It'll be Quick though on defense. Okay, so we're gonna see Skytor playing the Diva. And it looks like we're gonna see an Ana Zen backline here. Obviously pretty strong in terms of high ground control.
Yeah, I mean, Zen is powerful against the slower comps on the attack side here of these kinds of maps, but if Quick end up with something, you know, that involves a Diva or something that's like relatively fast, then it's tough. It's good against Zarya, in fairness. Tama out on the Roadhog obviously would be, pretty good for Yoham to feast on, but this is Quick here, playing very much a poke-oriented defense style. They're hoping for a slower look here from Vision on the attack side. They might get it if it's going to be a Zarya comp.
And it most certainly could be a Zarya comp, as we've seen Tama run that to pretty good usage. So it looks like Cookie and Chosuwon just kind of maybe thinking about actually Cookie will stay on the Sim, it looks like. So they'll play Sim Tracer with the Zarya. It's going to be very difficult here for SkyTour to kind of like play toe-to-toe with Tama.
And that is going to be one challenge. I feel like it's been hedged for, though, by Quick Esports with their backline selection, but it is Ana Zen. It's a classic look, but one that does not want to have the fight taken to them. So we'll see that happen eventually. Yoham's supposed to drop off. What a shot on the choice they won. That was exactly where Vision were hoping. They catch up this Zen. Onto the low ground, Yoham has dropped. But look at all the space that has had to be given up by Quick amidst this.
Right, I was going to say that clip looks nice, right? But nobody there to help SkyTour and heal him up. And the Sim just gives mobility to the Zarya that obviously Zarya doesn't have naturally. There, TP comes through and it splits them. Not sure if they're going to take it or not. And even though that's a really nice pick from Yoham onto Chosuwon off the start, it's just so much space generated there by Vision. It's an easy point they take.
Well, behind that nice little clip from the Zen was all of Vision being able to take control and knock SkyTour out of that mech. So now over to the Ramatra. This is the pick that we're seeing pretty little of so far, especially even on some maps like this. It's a throwback to the Rush style as Violet just continues to do what his mandate is, which is to kill everybody. But again, a little bit weaker just balance-wise, I think, in terms of comparing those frontliners and Quick. I don't know if this is a great answer.
Well, I mean, where is Yoham is up here by the high ground. It sounds like Violet. Is it Violet nowhere? Okay, he knows exactly where he is. Just turns the corner. I mean, nothing. But Violet just going crazy here at range. The Ramatra was strong, right? When there was like, obviously some changes to the block and like how armor kind of worked, and maybe it was unintended, just kind of working in a certain way for a while. But now that Ramatra has been kind of like nerfed and adjusted, yes, he's kind of fallen out of favor completely. As looks like here it's just Tama just seeing, just waiting to put a bubble there on the Cookie, puts the bubble on, and then Cookie slides away. So they
well, hold on, he instantly gets 45 charge off that as well. Like he's waiting, I think, for a charged salvo of Zen orbs to be thrown in the direction of Cookie so he can just eat it up.
Snowdrop playing the Hanzo the entire time. We haven't even really talked about. He's been playing a ton of Hanzo, more than anybody else. That's a nano Zen you're seeing there on your screen as Yoham will chase down Chosuwon yet again. So those two just kind of battling it out, it feels like, throughout the course of this one, as Yoham goes on a bit of a flank there on the Zen, doesn't work out, and this is the second checkpoint.
Nano Zen. Okay, well, look, I mean, in a pinch, I guess it's fine. Jonty wants to throw that out. You probably have the Ramatra who could benefit a little bit more from that, but the Zen
It's a nice way of putting it.
turns into a kill, so that's fine. It does look a little bit odd, though, at the end of the day. Snowdrop gets taken down. Chosuwon is able to take the fight to him. Remember, I mentioned this Quick Esports comp do not want to see a shielded Genji run up on them. It's definitely something they're a little bit vulnerable to. Evil has to recall out and away back towards the rest of their team now, as Tama would like to close the gap without taking too much poke damage, so has to use the cart and these corners pretty effectively. But a Bionade thrown on the Zarya, something that Tama can shrug off quite easily. Also gets the wave from Sile, so that's now going to amp any forthcoming healing. Yoham has his Transcendence in play. There's no anti-hit for Vision Esports here, but it doesn't matter. Snowdrop could not benefit from that HPS of the Zen, and the Dragon Blade accounts for the Hanzo.
And I mean, that is actually the Tidal Blast used there on a Chosuwon when he goes in with the blade. SkyTour actually uses Nemesis form, just gets sucked up in a grab. The Dragon comes through, it just kind of goes over the objective, doesn't connect with anything, as this is an incredibly fast time here, potentially set by Vision. Is Snowdrop there, just getting chased into the spawn by Violet, and that'll be it. Not it. Yeah, obviously, Quick Esports, they have a chance to attack, but 4 minutes for Vision Esports in the time bank. That is fast, Mitch.
This is pretty unserious game of Overwatch so far.
You need to stop that right now. It's
I love it. Violet there, you can see just chasing the Hanzo, looking to try and fight him whenever possible. Violet fuming that Tama has
chasing everybody.
Yeah, fuming that Tama's been able to get more damage done than him this game. Actually, everyone has. So, obviously Violet, when relegated to Kiriko duty, can't quite have the same impact just numerically, but has been getting some pretty nasty kills. Beautifully done. Again, Quick Esports, their only highlight moment comes from a support player. It's Yoham who just kills Choice 1 and then gets a nano later on in the game as Quick really investing and trying to get Yoham in a position to take over the game like Violet has been trying to do. It's still not a Zen comp. It still folds to any sort of dive, and when Genji comes in with a bubble and then a blade, you're cooked.
I don't think they're playing this on offense, right? Quick Esports playing the Ana Zen with the Ram on offense. I mean, I guess you could, but I don't think Ram has obviously been nerfed, and like I feel like we've only seen it for maybe Quick in this stage. So see if it's something they decide to roll out with here.
Snowdrop feeding the ult charge of the enemy supports. Just getting a little bit of damage down. A little pick on Violet there would have been quite nice. He's actually going to stay on the Widow here. So this is a slow comp for Quick Esports. They got the Ramatra here. They are going to be taking space pretty sort of piecemeal around the map.
We've seen Quick though run these comps with like Snowdrop on like a Widow or Hanzo. I think back to like a Gibraltar, things along those lines. And it usually doesn't work out well. It's really difficult for him to kind of find these picks.
Look at that. We're in an era of mobility creep. I feel for Snowdrop there. He's trying to shoot a Wuyong when he's surfing. He's just keeping it totally tubular. No idea there's a Widow just peering down, trying to look at him. So this comp, Matt, it does require a pick, right? It's asking for Yoham or Snowdrop to, well, pick someone off and ideally not die. So, and if that doesn't happen, right, this could take some time.
Ideally not die is the key there. Doesn't seem to be the case. I mean, dude, look at that. Chizuan just turn the corner, just putting some shots in Evil. So you see Snowdrop here still in this battle against Tama. He's just,
it's tough.
I mean,
hey, he's crouching.
The little wiggle from Tama, that's tough. Yeah. I mean, he's...
If you ever play Widow 1v1, Widow...
Did you see? Here's SkyTour's Ramatra just scream at the top of his...
Get off his top, please, guys.
No, I like it. I think it could work.
Oh, okay.
They just gotta get rolling a little bit. All right, yeah, get the ball in here.
Yeah, get the ball. You wanted to get it rolling, Matt. You got what you asked for.
Here. Yep, yeah, take out Violet. He's in there.
Yeah, Violet should not be doing what he's doing right now. Can Swift step out, though? Back to safe.
Now they'll know, though.
They have so much information. They have Sonic Arrow and Infrasight. They can see the whole map.
Oh, wait, they're going double sniper.
Yep. They're not messing about.
Talking about the solo sniper.
Never mind, he died instantly. Sile just bonked him, rung him like a bell. SkyTour is in a
they heard that you didn't like the solo sniper comp, so they said, watch this, Mitch Leslie will bring it down.
What the heck is going on, bro? What is going on?
This is what I mean, though, about Quick Esports, right? Like, they may not exactly win, but this is just like another level of vibes, though.
I mean, it is a vibe, that's for sure.
Wait, where is it? Where is it?
He's trying to keep Jonty alive, okay?
Yeah.
He's trying to keep him alive.
Jonty alive, right.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's pretty good value, though.
Yeah.
I mean, look how much space it's created.
You managed to get the title blast out of Vision Esports? That's big. Now, you all died. You did all die, and you don't have a tick yet. And you used both your support ultimates. And
I know every team in the OWCS is only supposed to play 7 games.
Yes.
But how do we get 14 games from Quick Esports? I need double the amount.
Well, actually, yeah, when they get relegated to Master, you're going to get a bunch more games out of them.
Well, if you don't know that, here comes Evil on the Junkrat. So maybe the Junkrat's the answer here.
SkyTour, again, needs to just make use of these health packs right now as the rest of his team.
World Tour.
All right, so...
Yes.
Honestly, Junk against the more ground-born composition can be quite good.
Oh, this is good. Yeah.
Where's your journalistic integrity, Matt? There it is. Nicely done. Violet popped up there. Easy remote mind pick.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, tell us a bit about the Junkrat perks, because I know he's actually got a few decent ones that can make him pretty impactful.
there is no perk that Junkrat has or could get in the future that could save what's going on right now.
Well,
hold on, actually.
Yeah, what are you
Maybe not. All right, hold on. We're getting more action here. As Vision is giving up the objective here. I told you it's the Junkrat swap. The Junkrat swap, it's a staple here for Quick Esports. We see them go to this on Hollywood.
It's the spirit of
up. I mean, look at that.
That is still settling over the OWCS EMEA region. There should be a cap here. Nicely done. Vision Esports just get tempted to come a little too close to the sun, and Quick Esports able to get on the road now. Still with this Junkrat in hand. Obviously, amidst these city streets, Junkrat can be pretty annoying. There's going to be a lot of incidental damage that Vision are going to have to contend with. That he's going to stretch their healing resources somewhat if Violet, I guess, doesn't go and kill the Junkrat himself, which he has done. So, carry on.
Now, what perk is he running? I think he's running the one, the tire one is the minor. So like you can like get a boost during the tire. That's another Nano Zen here. Yeah, so he is running like yeah, you can get the speed boost with the tire there. So what will he go with for the major perk though?
Is that what makes like the remote mines even? Oh, okay, nice little trade there between the back line. I think there's one that empowers remote mines a bit further. That can become quite nice.
It gives attack speed, I think, off of the remote mines, right? And then there's another one that's like projectile speed, but the ammo is reduced by 1.
Yep.
You know what I want to do here though, Mitch? I want to hear what the vibes are like for Quick Esports. Let's go to a listen-in, see what's going on over there.
I think you know where he is.
Let's kill him. Let's kill him, guys.
I'm flanking. Oh, kill him. Kill him.
He's one. Oh my god.
I come to help you.
Oh, yeah. Fucking bomb.
The cast is right side.
Easy.
Quick cast lens path. He's low.
I'm on it.
Nice. C9.
Good kill.
Yeah, I'm not getting on it.
Guys, the phone.
Yo, you can do the honors, mate. I'm setting up. We can hit them outside of the last corner, okay? You see me? I'm next to Snowdrop.
Just break my mind.
Yeah. Like, they're gonna TP on Snowdrop. I'm gonna nade all of them, okay?
Oh, yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
Carry on ping.
Bro, stop taking damage.
Yeah, but they need to go here.
They're not TPing, bro.
They're TP.
I got mine.
Get shit on. Help! Zaya. Oh, yeah.
Sleeping. Chop him. Oh, fuck.
Oh my god, evil. We're actually him on junk, though.
C9.
I'll fetch. All good, guys.
All right, so clearly there's a game plan. You know that Quick Esports are trying to punish the Vision coming off respawn. The problem is if they can't force them to respawn, then their plan kind of falls flat.
Yeah, now Tama's still behind them, so I'm trying to make it back on the Lucio, and I don't think anybody is. Skytour's not going to be able to hit a touch. So the fun does stop there for that second checkpoint. Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to see a third checkpoint, but Vision Esports though, I mean, like 4 minutes basically in their time bank. Chosiwan there switches over to the Sombra just to get a hack at the end, make it difficult for Skytour to stay around on the cart. So this is a game that happened, and Vision Esports has won it.
Yeah, look, I mean, we are 2-0 now for Vision in the series. I did obviously say earlier in commentary that it's likely Quick are going to be relegated. At this point, they're coming to the game like 1 in 12, I think, in map, so that's not great, right?
I don't think we should.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to be taking a win here either. But we can assess this game, I think, based on the first half. We see that the Hanzo play for Quick Esports. This is the second half, in fact, if I'm not mistaken. Vision Esports or actually on the attack side here, so just those little overlays. Which
we should have something in the OWCS, Mitch, that like you know when you play like a Mario Party and you get a star at the end just for kind of like hanging out. Yeah. We should give away some wins.
No, oh, okay, because they do get like, player titles, right, as OWCS competitors. Yeah. So like that is consolation.
But we should just start giving people wins off of like, you know, put it get like they're the vibe team, right? Yep. Maybe we give them a win for the vibes, like I know some sick Junkrat clips.
I do think we need more listen-ins from Quick Esports because they're finding themselves these comps and actually hearing how they try and put their plans together as opposed to things outside of things just like I'm setting up, I'm going to kill them on the corner. I do want to know what the macro strategy is here on this kind of map.
Yeah, I agree. I think we got to get like the Tama Snowdrop, long range Zarya Widow. We got to get like a replay like sped up at like 250% speed just to see Tama just juke him in what should have been real time. Those are the stats. It is a lot of damage from Vision Esports, not a lot of damage from Quick. and that results in a blowout. So Quick Esports, they'll have another opportunity to pick a map. We'll see where they decide to take us.
Yeah, obviously,
maybe Hollywood. They're a Hollywood team.
They're a Hollywood team. I haven't seen Hollywood in a hot minute, honestly. And when we did, I think we only got to see the first point. I don't know. You guys got it from Gen G, I think.
You missed a wild one with Quick versus. Was it Twisted Minds? Maybe it was all over.
I think no. I mean, Quick with their one map win was
or Alcatia.
Right? I think they beat Gen G.
Yeah, I think it was
Hollywood.
They did beat somebody there.
Yeah, and if it's going to be anybody, it's Gen G for sure. But yeah, hopefully we get to see that sort of in a moment. More listen-ins I'm demanding from Quick Esports. Good to see they're having a good time out there, but obviously they kind of stop playing around the cart there and look for some individual moments. I think the Ana Zen backline is really hard to make work in the current era of Overwatch. And again, I know Lijiang can have some of the same sort of drawbacks. Is that like?
Whoa, hey, hold on. We're actually obviously they go to King's Row instead of Hollywood. They go to Esperança. We've seen. I think they did pick Gibraltar once, and it ended horrifically. So I'm happy to see them not go towards Escort. So we'll see them go to Esperança. We'll see though. I was gonna say yes, they needed to ban a tank, right? Because you would have seen them just ban out like Skytor on the Winston, but they get rid of the Ana, which has been used by Quick already a few times.
Yeah, so Jonty on the Ana. I think that it's probably a little annoying having to contend with like Nano Boost here on Skytor, and also just those Bionades that come in. It did feel like it was a little bit hard for Quick to integrate the Ana into like their overall strategy, but that's something the Vision don't want to deal with on this kind of map here. Gonna put, a Quick in a position where you can play Lucio Kiriko quite happily. Lijiang Kiriko can also be folded in pretty easily. No Diva, of course. She really loves to command the high ground on this map, but that leaves a few other options still open for Tama. You can still come out here with the Zarya looks. You can also try and work Hazard in. And for Skytor, like, you can just play that Winston, see if, perhaps with no Diva in the mix, you actually have a little bit more agency.
And just to confirm, I am drinking water. The match has not hit a point where we have to switch liquids. It's still a pretty good one. This one's keeping me excited.
I mean, it is 10:30 a.m. on the West Coast, and I considered it. I'm just gonna put that out here. I definitely thought about it, but we're here for a good time, folks. Hasn't been a long time though. That's the thing. Quick Esports here. Again, they're looking for their second map win of this OWCS.
I want to see them win. I enjoy watching this team. I think they're just a fun bunch. Like the listening that we had with them on Gibraltar when you were on vacation, it was pretty legendary. Snowdrop was talking about how his arrows needed to turn into logs to get a pick, and then he actually got one. It didn't really result in them moving the cart, but they're a fun bunch.
Did it result in them moving the cart? Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm just glad. No, I really do think a couple of weeks on Valorant Champions has forged me into the kind of caster that can take this kind of game by the reins and give you the very best here, folks. So
I'm also like, I want to see, because it's like, obviously we don't see it here, right? Because Quick is just kind of in a really rough spot here in the OWCS, but like, this is a team that obviously makes it in through relegation. Like they're beating it up on other EMEA teams, so it's not like this team isn't skilled. It's just like the next step up seems to be maybe a bit much.
Well, and I think Vision Esports, I think they're the benefactors of the Ultimates sort of obviously dissolving and coming in, but they are.
I believe you're right.
Right, so they are in theory though a promo relegation team as well. They've been able to turn up here and honestly look really competitive straight off the rip, which is what we want to see, right? We want to see, FACEIT EMEA Master and that promo relegation system put teams into OWCS that can really start to challenge and to disrupt the hierarchy.
Tell me, you've been gone a bit, but you know this comp well. The Kiri, Moira, Ball, Junk, Sombra. Break this one down for us.
Yeah, look, I think so. In theory, the Sombra wants to disrupt Tama as much as possible. The more you can hold the ball in place, the more you can get the Junkrat just to vomit mines on them and blow them up. That's definitely, that's the game plan.
This is an odd spot to start to get this Junkrat here.
They're baiting.
But the Junkrat controlling the high ground. Yeah, the issue is like they're baiting to a spot that Vision doesn't necessarily need to go to. Okay, well, hold on. They do get cookie. So there is a pick there. Looks like Yoham will be dealt with there by Tama as they were just getting a little emote off there.
Yeah, just a quick
Tama
reset.
Tama wants no part of it.
Yoham's a little too split from the rest of Quick Esports to be able to partake in the rest of the game for them. So Tama here as well, just making sure his sensitivity is set correctly. Definitely something you want to check mid-game.
I think his controller DC'd it looks like for a second.
Again, you're just going to make sure things are all calibrated properly. We're close to a first checkpoint here for Vision.
Yeah, Skytar looks like he was spinning on the bot, and then it looks like this will be checkpoint though for Vision. So an odd, they get the checkpoint. It feels like a lot, and it's not really happened so far as Tama. I mean, just putting on the juice.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Tama able to attract the attention of 2 of these Quick Esports players, leaves the rest of them without sufficient backbone ready to take the fight. So we're at 58 meters already.
Did somebody shoot the mine when he was trying to launch himself up?
Might have, really
that happened. It looks like he was going to go to the high ground there, but a nice play by Chose wanted to shoot the mine off the wall. This is looking rough here for Quick. They're going to need to get a fight win here soon, Mitch.
Yeah, I think Quick Esports have all taken the perk that standing near the bot causes like a tick of burn damage that sort of affects them over time. So can't get too close to that objective for the time being. Really just need to work around the fringes if at all possible. Or just, play on like obscure high grounds here. You have really good sight lines if you're basically playing at the edges of the map. So that really can help contesting the objective, especially when you can't touch it because you're allergic to it.
That is Snowdrop falling as well. Okay, hold on. Kitsune rush here. Both sides, though. It'll be a Tidal Blast here used on a Violet, so you can play even more aggressive, and it looks like even throughout all of that, nothing really going on here for Quick. That's going to be an EMP, actually. Connected Force. That's a pretty good EMP there from Snowdrop.
Yeah, Violet is able to take that one kill there, but the fight is essentially already over. Quick Esports really being able to leverage a lot of those ultimates in that previous fight. Coalescence and EMP were definitely the highlights in that engagement for them. And so they're giving up 122 meters. I think Avril's Law kicks in somewhere about now, but they're going to try and retake the map. Sky's always mines in play. Look to try and get ahead of things here. Little rooftop surf as he is aware. Vision Esports are trying to group up via these small corridors. Definitely makes them susceptible to the attentions of the ball.
Yes, Skytor just trying to open up some space there from the high ground. That's okay. Violet probably playing way too aggressive. That's going to be both supports down. And Cookie. So maybe they can actually start to get some positive progress here with the bot, as Sile's going to go back to the Lijiang here. No reason to stick on that Lucio. So Quick Esports has some stuff to work with here, Mitch. Maybe you get that nitro boosted rip tire here. Looks like Evil's kind of hiding out.
Yeah, decent spot for this. And also Quick now have the high ground just based on where the bot is, so they can try and leverage that for the moment. Sile blown up instantly. Cookie, though, is able to find Jonty. So even though Evil's been able to start the fight with a kill in favor of Quick Esports, he's a long way away from the action. Yoham able to throw a Bionicle to heal himself up as he tries to tango with that Tracer. And Evil now will be able to return to his lair, to where they've set up for most of this round. Get healed up by Yoham, but they are suffering the attentions of Tama.
Is that the new name of that spot, Evil's Lair? It's just kind of, he loves just shooting the mines there up, nice shot there from Cookie, I was going to say, through the staircase and then down below, just kind of launching grenades, but it doesn't exactly work out. Was playing over there with Yoham. Yoham's going to have a coalescence. The bot, though, is moving into the Quick Esports spawn at the moment. It doesn't look like anybody's really worried about it, though.
That's not great. I mean, Yoham is concerned about where the bot is, and then pops a coalescence that he can't even use to keep Snowdrop healed up because he's on the low ground, and the Sombra was left up high. So the bot will continue to advance here. Minefields in play for both sides. It's very dangerous to be out there right now, but Tama is happy to soak some damage, give his support a little bit more healing. Choice here one, though, taken down. Remote mine connection there for Evil. Definitely wants to try and set up on his high ground now and be in a position to punish. It's Violet getting a little too close to the sun. Tama hacked mid-air. Has to respect this Sombra pick that's been pretty disruptive for the ball.
Yeah, the health pack is gone as well. So looks like potentially okay, well, Tama will be able to live, and Sile over to the BAP. That's what I was kind of like wondering about. It looks like just kind of over to the BAP to just put down some damage, right? There's not like a, maybe the immortality guild to kind of help a little bit with some of the stuff in the summer. Yeah, it's a really nice EMP. Another one from Snowdrop.
Instant virus connection there as well. Makes short work of Cookie. Sile inside that immortality field eventually will be taken down by Jonty, who drops down behind him. The bot, though, is, well, it's still pushing towards the end of the map, so it's going to be hard for Quick Esports to move the bot back to territory that favors them, i.e. those high ground causeways in the middle part of the map. And a Kitsune Rush is used to fight the Wrecking Ball. Jonty has used it to fight Tama, and they've gotten a kill. Worth. Absolutely worth.
I mean, that's insane value right there. I mean, you do that every time. You take that. So, even though that has happened, Tama now goes over to the Hog. Okay, hold on. We got Evil and a little bit of. He's trying to get back to his lair there, so it looks like trying to go back towards that, you know, close spawn where he has found the most success here, playing from this angle up on the high ground.
It gives him instant access to the high ground bridge, but the hook here is a bit of a problem, and it's a Roadhog on Junkrat action. Haven't seen that in a while. It's been many, many years, in fact. Tama silences the lion's share of the damage on the Quick Esports side, and that'll have this bot swinging back in the direction of Quick Esports to spawn.
And now I think we're going to see Tama do like an Evil impression here, where he's just going to kind of crouch, lurk. Ooh, is Evil going to come over this wall? He's going to get deleted here.
No.
Oh.
Man,
I mean, that's because he's just a pro at that type of tactic, Evil, so he knows where everybody would be lurking.
Yeah, I mean, bro wasn't born yesterday, that's for sure. Roadhog also not exactly built for stealth. Not the most svelte or streamlined body. I mean, get him in Lycra and he can probably slip through some gaps, but I do think it's tough for Tama to do anything unbeknownst to Quick Esports. Here's a supercharged Riptire Cookie, able to get away from it though, just tickled by the edges of the blast. He was able to pick up a health pack instantly, so remains fighting fit. Snowdrop, as far as I can tell, was in stealth there. Violet was able to pick him up though with some kunai senators retreating back. Jonty though able to find some success. That's the Sojourn down. Just immediately Evil just drops on in, and Johan has to call Lexens now. Hoses Violet down. But the loss of Evil's a problem. The hook that comes in from Johan keeps Vision Esports in a commanding position.
Yeah, and then now you have this Ant Matrix here, if need be, from Sile, just kind of put it in front of the spawn, and Skytor not able to get a touch, and that will be it. So Vision Esports, I would say they took care of business here in this game. It's one we expected them to win, and they most certainly did win there, Mitch. As got a little Quick Esportsy there, you know, about halfway through map 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough for Quick Esports now because that's another series that passes by them where they're unable to add a map to their total. So if there's any sort of question about whether they'd be able to drag themselves out of the relegation zone, the answer's probably no. I think they're 1 in 14, 1 in 15 now coming out of this, and you can see the tail of the scoreboard kind of tells everything you need to know. Violet there with another strong showing. I like to highlight sports that are popping off, but Choice A1 runs straight through them. Only one death for the Tracer over the course of that entire map. It's dominance here from for Vision, excuse me. And they've got to hope that, you know, these kind of games are giving them some degree of experience to take forward into playoffs. But we know these guys are going to be gearing up to take on the juggernauts from this region.
Yeah, it's dominance from Quick Esports in terms of vibes, just not really in terms of getting wins. As Vision just takes care of it. And honestly, nothing wild to report here, Zoe, after that one.
No, I did get my water, to whom it may concern, so that's awesome. But this is really what we wanted to see, right? We expected Vision to come out on top in a very dominant fashion. They expected that too. It's probably, I don't know, good practice. Probably not, for the last leg of their journey in stage 3, because both teams actually have a quite difficult schedule, right? So they will be heavily focused on those upcoming matches. For Vision, it's going to be Peps coming up, and then afterward, I do believe they have VP still to fight against. So yeah, a backloaded schedule for that team. But Quick also is not getting any easier for them. They kick things up in week 5 with VP, and then they have to close it out against Twisted Minds. So this was, if anything, this was their last real opportunity to kind of make their presence felt, as they're now 0-4, 0-5 in the standings.
Yeah.
They've made their presence felt. It just hasn't exactly been in terms of wins here, right? But
I'm here for their comms.
They're fan favorite for me. The comms are always
the comms are
awesome. You know, they kind of know when the series is getting away, so they're like, you know, let's give the fans what they want to see. Let's get the junk out. They're I love Quick.
Yeah, their Hollywood game against Alcazia, cinema, absolute cinema. That was an instant classic.
I I think that, like, you know, normally the comic relief character gets killed off early in the movie so you can focus on the plot. But I feel like we've had a really nice sort of like diversion, I think, from the rigors and the overt seriousness of sometimes competing here in Overwatch, which I like to see here. So,
I mean,
you know what? If we're going with that kind of, I do think that they're not going to get killed off, and they're a very good supporting character because they bring out interesting aspects in the main characters, such as Alcatia. Like, they were the reason for Alcatia to like switch over to Lex, switch over to Mercy, and like seriously play that. So I think in terms of supporting characters, they're really bringing out the best out of the stars of the show. Just, you know, but Matt is just like,
well, you know, for Overwatch Esports, right? I mean, you talk about
good analogy.
no, we had a team go 0-40, so I don't think anybody's doing that anytime soon. So it can't.
And then later they became champions. They were world champions. Scriptwriter is cooking for a quick esports. For now, though, this stage does not seem to be going in their favor. Conversely, Vision Esports had a good start, and they're back to their dominant ways. So let's check in with Tama after this victory, as Tama will be joining us for a quick chat before we let them rest. Tama, thank you so much for taking the time. Also, you played the piano. It's just like completely unrelated. Is that yours? I assume so, since it's in your room.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I'm not that good.
Like a nice piano. If you have... Okay, but if you're committed enough to have a piano in your room, you're probably pretty decent.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out.
You're
being a humble man. Yeah, that's a humble king for us. We take it. Tama, I don't really want to discuss the series we just saw. It was a one-sided affair. It's what we wanted to see. It's what we expected to see, and you guys delivered. I want to look ahead to next week's match. It's going to be against Peps. How do you feel you're stacking up against them in your current form, and what are your thoughts generally on Team Peps?
I think Peps are good. Peps are getting better as well. They have a lot of like young talent mixed in with like the old Peps core. I think it's gonna be definitely a harder game than this. Harder game than Anomaly as well, but we should just I think we should just win confidently.
I want to do the opposite of so and actually look back a little bit, because you come into OWCS obviously like via that promo relegation, and also the Ultimates just booming, but you come in with like a really strong core. Some of your players may be less known to sort of the viewers, but you've got some sort of legends on the team. You come out and obviously you get 3-0'd by Alcatia and by Twisted Minds, and I feel like looking at your team, and you might agree that you want to be the kind of team that really takes those guys all the way, that can sort of win matches like that. Were there any like big lessons that you'd learned from those two teams, and those losses that you suffered, that you think that you can make use of as you go into the playoffs and maybe have to play against them again?
I mean, you learn the most from the losses, I think, like especially us. Like, we are scrimming basically the top 3 teams all day, and we're just losing, and every time we lose, we change small things, and it's slowly getting better and better. I don't know if we're catching up or if it stays the same, but like the trajectory, it looks possible to break in the top 3.
Yeah.
Well, Zoe didn't want to ask you about this game, but I do. When it starts to get off the rails and a little silly, how difficult is it to not give in and contribute to the silliness? You guys kind of just kept playing what you're used to playing, but we did see at times, you're shooting your beam at Violet on the ground. You're kind of dancing in front of Snowdrop. How hard is it for you to not kind of go give in and go full silly once it starts to devolve into chaos?
I gave in, I'm gonna be honest, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Okay.
We just have like Joy and Violet running around the map, just farming fantasy points. So
I like that.
I don't know. Just half the team just stays locked in and keeps shooting, and I just bubble them or something.
That works.
Yeah, whatever gets the job done. As long as everyone has fun whilst playing, we're here for it. Tama, thank you so much for taking the time, and best of luck next week in a match against Peps.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.